Greetings and salutations, friends of Goochland. Today, I went out and checked my mail. You know, back in 1967 when I would check my mail, I'd always look for greetings from the government where they would say greetings and salutations, welcome to the United States Army. This is like that, sort of. This is from Tract, inviting me to come to a community meeting. So I wanted to take a couple minutes and talk about some stuff. If you've seen any commercials at all on YouTube, Tubi, or whatever, I don't have regular TV. I don't know what it's like on the regular TV channels. But tons of money is being spent by the data center coalitions, the data centers, Tract, developers, yada, yada, yada. Tons of money, tons, on advertising how great data centers are going to be. And those bad politicians in Richmond are keeping it from the rural areas. Oh my God, what a story, what a story. It's a pack of lies. It's just such a pack of lies. It's kind of like listening to the chairman of our Goochland County Economic Development Authority telling us, the crowd, that data centers don't use much water. He said that. He said that out loud. He said that out loud. But of course, he also said that if we had Goochland data centers, that is, if we allowed data centers to come into Goochland, we would prevent the invasion of Taiwan by China. Really. And also, all the medical problems in the world would be solved. And radiologists, they'd be a dream profession. They wouldn't have to fill out any forms anymore because they could read more radiology things. Actually, they could rely on AI to read for them. You know, AI is not foolproof. It's not foolproof at all. It's pretty good at writing code, but I'm not sure I'd want AI managing my health. And as far as national security, oh my God. Look at flock cameras. That gives you a clue. That's AI in action. That's what we want? Come on. Economic Development Authority in Goochland County is living in a different place. Pennsylvania, I want you to know what's going on in Pennsylvania. There has been quite a series of articles in the Wall Street Journal as well as other magazines. What's happening is the small farms are being approached secretly by Meta, by Google, by Amazon, by Microsoft, by who knows, but the big companies. And they're buying up these little farms, 50 acres, 60 acres, 100 acres, 200 acres at a time. They're not making a big deal, not making a big splash, and you can't blame the people for wanting to sell. It's time to move on, and maybe in a couple of cases they told how the owners of the property were having trouble making ends meet. And so here all of a sudden comes somebody with offers for millions of dollars for their acreage. Millions of dollars. So here they go from working their tails off to being millionaires overnight. And what happens to all that land? You and I both know it turns into data centers, right? Because when they come in, the data centers, they bring lawyers and money and lawsuits. So yes, it's zoned agricultural, but we, the landowners, we want to change it to be industrial. And since we're the landowners, we get to decide that. We get to decide that. And if you don't agree with us, we'll sue you. And we'll keep suing you until your citizens run out of money. And then we'll get their land too. You know, it's really kind of sad. And speaking of sad, I heard allegedly that no one in District 3 is fighting or against data centers. That's a reliably good source that said nobody in District 3 cares whether there's data centers on the east or west. I find that sad and a little disappointing, and I'm not sure it's exactly true. But if it is true and you do live in District 3, please take the time to write your supervisor and say, hey, we don't want data centers next to us, and we don't want our neighbors to have data centers either. Let's keep data centers out of Goochland County. But if we can't do that, and this is not just for District 3, it's for the entire place. If we can't do that, why don't we sit down together and come up with some use standards that will protect the citizens from by right data centers in M1s and M2s. And M1s and M2s are across the county. And I'm told it's either 1,100 or 1,600 acres of rural property in western Goochland that's under option by Dominion. Dominion can buy this either 1,100 or 1,600 acres. I'm not sure. I have to go back and check. I've forgotten. This kind of popped up in my mind as I'm talking. But if Dominion decides to buy this property, and they may say, hey, we're going to put solar panels there, but they don't have to. They just buy the property. And on the 1st of January 2027, now there's 1,100 acres owned by Dominion, and they can make a heck of a profit if they sell it to Tract or some data center company. They wouldn't do that, would they? So let's sit down and do use standards, strategic planning, comprehensive planning. Let's do it as a community, as a county. We sometimes look at things different. We have different perspectives in the east, west, north, and south of this county, but you know what? We're all people. We all like where we live. Let's keep it in the same way that it is. Let's keep Goochland, Goochland. You want a monster? Let one data center in, just one. And this will be another Loudoun County. And you won't hear birds chirping, rivers running. You'll hear the hum of high power transmission lines, chillers, data centers, and the money being sucked right out of the county. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.